a 3.5 year period on this side, and in the midst of the week, in between there is 2013. According to the Daniel's timeline thing that the angel gave Daniel, the year will be 2013 as the midst of the week when the altar is shut down and the abomination is done. So now let's look at our confirming witnesses. Daniel's 70 Shavuot, or years, prophecy timeline has been given. The visual blueprint of the creation in the latter years has been given. He's given us a 1967 Six-Day War as the Jubilee year. He's also given us the ancient times showing the things are yet to come. We've had 200 years of Jubilees counting backward and forward, all the way to 333 BC. And we've got the parable of the fig tree nation, where Israel became a nation again, and that happened in 1947. That's when the commandment went forth. And we also have the confirmation of the 120th Jubilee year. I mean, we have more than 2 or 3 witnesses. We've got a multitude of witnesses here. We only needed 2 or 3, but let's look at one more thing where God shows that he will give us the future just by simply looking at the ancient times. This is going to be a little comparison here. In 1947, the commandment went forth, and Israel became a free nation again. From 1947 to 2017, when the God's rest start, is 70 years. The temple was destroyed in 70 A.D. From 70 A.D., it was destroyed by the Romans. In 70 A.D. to this point is 1947 years. Adam was conceived in 1947 B.C. From his conception until the temple being destroyed was 2017 years. From Adam until the Exodus, when Israel went forth a free nation, was 50 jubilees. It was a jubilee of jubilees. And then as this was 70 years when they went forth a free nation in 1947, 70 years here when Israel went forth a free nation out of Egypt, from there to there is 70 jubilee years. The similarity is absolutely profound. So, can we discern the year tribulation starts? Do we have enough scripture information? Has enough prophecy been fulfilled to find it? You bet. Yes, it has. The 7-year prophetic week begins in 2010, the midst of the week 2013, and 2016 is the year that the Lord returns. This is all according to Daniel's timeline. 2013 is in the midst. That's the prophetic week. Now, Daniel's timeline, we've determined that 2013 is the midst of the week when the abomination and the altar is shut down. The next thing that comes up is the midst of the week. Now, we've seen what the midst of the week, it was the last 7 years of that 70 weeks, or that 70 years. Now, so when in 2013 does the tribulation start? What season will it be? How can we know? The counting of years, we're counting years, but now we're going to be counting actual days, according to Daniel, counting actual days. Now, if this 2013 in the midst of the week must be consistent with each other. This have to match with this, and this has to match with that. If it doesn't match, then 2013 cannot be the right year. It cannot be. It's got to complement each other. It's got to fit. It's got to match. It's like when God reveals his truth, all the prophecy pieces just fall in place all by themselves. All we got to do is just stay out of the way and watch him work. So now we're going to get into the midst of the week right now. This is our Daniel's chart. This is our prophetic baseline. We're going to be focusing on this 7-year period, this prophetic week. Our focal point is actually going to be on this last 3.5 years. The last 3.5 years. This is when the altar shut down, the abomination is done. This is our focal point. This is the key that's given for the day counts. Now we're going to spread out this little chart right here and start plotting the days, just like we did the years. We're going to start plotting days. Here's our marker for the midst of the week. Here's our marker for the return of the Lord, 2013 to 2016, and here's our black marker right here for the blessed day. this is the day that God's rest starts, and we're counting by days now. We're strictly counting by days. In Daniel 11, it says that the arm shall stand on his part, and they shall pollute the sanctuary of strength, and shall take away the daily sacrifice, and they shall place the abomination that maketh desolate. We have two things going on here. We have a daily sacrifice stopped, and we have an abomination placed. We only had one marker, so we're putting additional marker there for the second action that happens. We have one action, the sacrifice. We have a second action that some kind of abomination is done that makes Jerusalem desolate. This is where this is a picture of the Western Wall here and the Temple Mount. This is where the Temple Mount used to stand, right over here. And if you can see in the background, this, I hope you can see this, but in the background over here, that is the Mount of Olives. That's how close it is over there. It's not like it's a long way away. Things are close. Things are close. When the Lord comes back, most likely these grove of trees will be probably taken out. But anyway, this is the Western Wall. Now let's continue on with our information here, our counting of days. In Daniel 9:27, we read this one earlier. It says that he shall confirm the covenant with many for 1 week, and in the midst of the week he shall cause the sacrifice and oblation to cease, and for the overspreading of abominations he shall make it desolate. Okay, we have the altar shut down, and it says an abomination shall make Jerusalem desolate. Those that be in the mountain in Judea flee into the mountains. Anyway, it's made desolate right here. Not at the altar, but it's at the abomination. Daniel 12, it says, and from the time that the daily sacrifice be taken away, and the abomination that maketh desolate, there shall be 1,290 days. And blessed is he that waiteth and cometh to the 1,335th day. So this is all pertaining to this altar marker right here. First of all, we have 2 day counts. First of all, we have a 1,335 day. It says it's a blessed day to last all the way to there. We know that's the wedding date. That's our given date. That is a blessed day. And then we have the 1,290th day from the altar to the end of tribulation right here. That's how that plots. This is our given date. We know that the blessed day is the wedding day, and we know according to the Jewish calendars what day that the Feast of Tabernacles or Sukkot or the wedding day falls. That's our given day. Just like the Manna Week, when we had 2:15 was our given date, this is our given date here. We know when this happens. From 1,335 days to 1,290 days, we see that this little gap right here that we didn't know whether it was a year or what, we see that it's 45 days. Just subtracting the two shows that that's a 45-day period right there. Now, let's go to the next verses. Matthew, this is the Lord's words. Matthew 24. When ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet, the Lord is going back and quoting Daniel, referring to Daniel, spoken of by Daniel the prophet, stand in the holy place, some kind of image on this temple mount, some kind of abomination sets up. Whosoever readeth, let him understand. Them that be in Judea, flee into the mountains. So the fleeing is going to be right here. It says when the abomination is done, the fleeing starts. Not here. Things are applying to this marker here, the abomination. Yeshua also says, but pray that your flight not be in the winter, neither on the Sabbath. For then shall be great tribulation, which was not since the beginning of the world, no, nor ever shall be. He said, pray that your flight not be in the winter, and neither on the Sabbath, right here. He says, and that our winter is over. Every March the 21st is when winter is over. That's when it says the great tribulation starts right there, at the fleeing, right at the flight. So this must be this is the end of tribulation right over here. Now, in Revelation 12, it says, the woman fled into the wilderness. Here's the fleeing part. Here's the fleeing. The woman fled into the wilderness where she had a place prepared of God that they should feed her there 1,260 days. We have another set of days here. 60, 1 score. A score is 20. So 1,260 days. 1,260 days. So from the fleeing part, according to John in Revelation, from the fleeing part There's a 1,260-day period right there.